and welcome to Checkpoint. Yeah, I'm really excited to be on your screen again. It's your host, Dr. Ifeoma Eze, and I'm right here with Checkpoint. And you know what we do at Checkpoint? We always edify, empower, and equip you with information that will help you to become a better version of yourself. Now, you know how I always start, and I start by saying thank you, and thank you again for all that you do for us here at Checkpoint. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for sharing our videos. And most importantly, thank you for subscribing on my YouTube channel. If you're new here and you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please, did you see my face? Please subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the red button on the screen and then also click on the notification bell right down here. And when you do that, you'll be able to get new content whenever I release fresh content on my YouTube channel. So thank you for all that you do for us here at Checkpoint. We are indeed grateful. And because of all that you do, our message is reaching a wider audience. And for this, I am so grateful. Now, please, you know what you're supposed to do next, right? Go ahead, share this link. Share the link everywhere. Share it on your social media platforms. Share it to your friends, your relations, your associates, and your neighbors. Let every one of them know that it is time for Checkpoint. And I can't wait to share what I have with you today. You know, here at Checkpoint, we give you quality stuff, quality information that will help guide your way. In fact, with Checkpoint, you never miss your way. With Checkpoint, you know where that you know that you are on the right path to your life and destiny. And I can't wait to share with you today. So are you sharing? Yes, stop looking at me like that. Start sharing. And I'll be right back after the break. And when I come back, we will tell you what topic we have for you today. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Checkpoint. Now, today on Checkpoint, my topic that I'll be sharing with you today is strategies for recovering from your mistakes. Strategies for recovering from your mistakes. Before I start this, I need to say something, okay? Mistakes are not a reflection of your personality. Should I say this again? Yeah, mistakes are not a reflection of your personality. The fact that you have made mistake does not mean that you are inferior, does not mean that you are of no consequence, does not mean that you are not valuable. Every one of us, believe me when I tell you this, I'll say it again. Every one of us, even the people you hold in high esteem, even the people that you look up to, even the people you call your heroes and sheroes, even the people that appear so perfect, every one of us have made a mistake from time to time. Listen to me, the fact that we make mistakes does not make us failures, rather it makes us human. Every human being you know will make a mistake from time to time. Honestly, if I'm to share with you my fair share of mistakes that I have made in this life, you'll be like, what? Does she also make mistakes? Yes, we all make mistakes. But for the sake of this video, because I won't want this particular video to be too long, I'm going to tell you the truth. We have made mistakes. I might not be able to enumerate all of them for you, but I want you to be rest assured that no matter the kind of mistake that you have made, you can recover from that mistake. I understand that there are some mistakes that leave you with a scratch, that when it heals, you can't even see the wound ever again. But there are some other mistakes that leave you with a scar. So every time there is a reminder that you have made that mistake in your life, in your destiny, in your relationships, that scar is there. So you always know that something went wrong at such a point. Something went wrong at one point in my life. I know those ones leave a scar. But other mistakes can really maim you. Like, it can look like an amputation, maybe like a hand amputation or a leg amputation. It is permanent, and sometimes it can be glaring for all to see. Now, irrespective of the type of mistake you have made, you can recover from every one of them, right? As long as you're still alive. You know, the Bible says something that fascinates me a lot. It says that a living dog is better than a dead lion. So it doesn't matter if you were a roaring lion, but you are dead, the case is closed. Like, it's finished. Finito. The matter is already closed. But then even if you are a living dog. Listen to me, mistakes don't have to define the rest of your life. Your mistakes do not have to define who you are. Your mistake does not have to be a finality of the impression that anybody has to have about you. See, you made a mistake, but you are not your mistake. All right, you made a mistake, but your mistake is not you. So, irrespective of the kind of mistake that you think you may have made, you can recover from it if you follow the steps that I'm about to show you. Like I said, some mistakes leave you with no scar, some others leave you with a scar, and some maim you in such a way that no matter how long you live, you will still see that mistake. All right, it will still be glaring to all. But that does not have to be the end of your life. So the fact is this: you have made a mistake. Yes, you have made a mistake. But does that have to be the end of your life? No, absolutely not. Does that have to be the definition of your entire life? No, absolutely not. You won't be the first person who has made a mistake. Others have made mistake before you, but they were able to recover from it. So the issue is this: the issue is not the fact that you fell down. The issue is that you remained on the ground where you fell. The issue is not that you made a mistake. The problem now is that you made a mistake and you refuse to recover from your mistake. So after you have made that mistake, recover from it. After you have made that mistake, learn from it and move on. That is not, see, consider it a bend road, right? It is not the end of your road. It's just a bend in the road. So when you get to a sharp bend, that does not mean that the road has ended. Yes, it is true that it might look like the road is ending, but the road has actually not ended. So move on from that point. Let that point not define the rest of your life. So today I'll be sharing with you quality instructions and strategies that will help you to recover from your mistake. No matter how grievous they may be, no matter how terrible they may be, you can recover from that mistake. I'd like you to share with me in this comment section. Please just let's be vulnerable for 1 minute, all right? Let me know, have you ever made a mistake? I'm sure you have. Just let me know. If it is type you want to share, go ahead and share in the comment section. We all have made mistakes. I have made tons and tons and tons of mistakes, but I did not let them define me. I did not allow it to become the definition of my life, right? So I stood up from the ground, and what did I do? I dust myself off, and then I kept moving forward. So today I want to challenge you. No matter how bad it is, move forward. No matter how difficult it is, move forward. No matter how complicated it is, move forward. Keep moving forward. It doesn't matter how bad the past is. Apostle Paul says, I neglect all the things that are behind me and I press forward towards the mark of the high calling in Christ Jesus. Look forward, face front, all right? Keep pushing forward. Don't let it define you. Don't let it stop you. I know there are some mistakes that have ability to try to stop you, but don't let it stop you. You are stronger than your mistake. You are stronger than your failures. You are stronger than your pain. You are stronger than those uncertainties that happened in your life. I came here to challenge you today, to tell you that you can move on from any mistake, no matter how bad it is. You can move on from it. And I'm going to show you how in very quick steps, relatable steps, things you can actually handle, things you can actually do that will help you to become a better version of yourself. Are you ready? All right. So let me know in the comment section what you think of this topic. Do you like it? Do you understand it? And what do you think we should be talking about in this? Just let me know, because I love to hear from you. I love to read your comments, and I love to know what you are thinking while I'm sharing this video with you. Is that okay? Is that a deal? All right, let's move on. Strategies on how to recover from your mistakes. Number one is that you have to acknowledge the mistake. So it's like this. Many people, when they make a mistake, they try to brush it off. All right, they try to assume that, well, it's really not a mistake. I own it. I own my actions. Yeah. I know you want to own your actions, but you have to acknowledge that this is a mistake. Some others, they do what I call cover up. So they try to cover up the mistake with an attitude. They try to cover up the mistake with another mistake. Some others try to cover the mistake up with another kind of behavior. But listen to me. One of the very first steps in being able to recover from the mistake that you have actually made is to acknowledge the mistake. You have to admit to yourself that this happened. You have to admit to yourself that you went wrong in this area. See, if you cannot be honest to somebody else, you owe yourself the responsibility to be honest to yourself. Tell yourself the honest truth. I made a mistake. All right, so number two strategy that you have to employ in order to recover from your mistake is that you have to take responsibility. Take responsibility. What do I mean when I say take responsibility? It means that you have to own up to your mistakes. In the first point I told you, you have to acknowledge the mistake. Acknowledging that you made a mistake is one thing, but number two, take responsibility for the role that you played in it. You know, some of us are so good at blaming everybody but ourselves. So we blame our father for the mistake we made in our lives. We blame our mothers for the mistake we made in our lives. We even blame society. We blame uncles and aunties. We blame our subordinates, our superiors, our bosses, or the people that work under us as the reason for our failures. But listen to me, when you make a mistake, one of the first things that you can do for yourself is to own that mistake, is to take responsibility. I'm not saying you should own it and make it a part of you. No, that's not what I mean. It means that you have to be matured enough to accept the role that you played in that mistake. You know that some of us are very quick to say, oh, it's the devil, it's the devil, it's the devil that did this, it's the devil that did that. But listen to me, you are the one who made certain decisions that got you where you are at. So you have to own it and see. Maturity plays itself out when you are able to handle the situation, when you are able to accept that there is something, a role you played, that there is something you did in order to get to the point where you are right now. You know, it's so easy to blame others, but great leaders, they commonize or they generalize the successes, but when it comes to failures, they accept it. They own it. They tell themselves, there is something I should have done that I did not do, and that is what got me to this mess. Be honest with yourself. That mistake you made, it was your mistake. You made the mistake. Nobody did it for you. Yes, you might have reasons. You know, you might have lots and lots of reasons. Let me share one with you. While growing up, I had gotten admission to the university. Some of you may have heard my story or read about my story in some of my books. You know, people ask me now, why do you study like you are on some kind of penance, like you are trying to pay back for one grievous sin or grievous offense that you have committed? But in my first degree, I made a complete mess of it. In fact, it is through the grace of God that I even scaled that and even graduated, simply because I wanted to study medicine. So when I was given parasitology and entomology, I made a waste of it. Every year I was writing jam. Every year I focused on writing jam so that I could leave that course and then focus on the medicine. But one mistake I made then, that is and that I still regret now, is that I did not maximize the opportunity, right? And this is the lesson I want to share with everybody. While you are pursuing what you want, maximize what you have. Let's say that again. While you are pursuing what you want in life, maximize what you currently have. Many of us will want something bigger, something better. But what are we doing with what we have? And this is the mistake that we keep making. Even as young people, as older people, we keep making this mistake. And that was the mistake I made. I focused so much on what I wanted, and I made a mincemeat and a waste of what I had. So I had to keep proving to myself over and over again through different degrees, through different programs, that I was actually very, very smart. I was just careless in my first degree. It was just carelessness because I couldn't focus. So while you are pursuing where you are, I know that many of you right now, where you are now is not where you want to be. So while you are looking forward to where you want to be, what are you doing with where you are now? What opportunities? See, I want you to pray this prayer with me. Lay your hands on your head and say, oh Lord, may I not make a mess of the opportunities that I prayed for. It's a powerful prayer. Say, my God and my Father, may I not make a mess of the opportunities that I have been praying for. Do you know that some of us, the opportunities we have been praying for will come our way, and because we are not alert, because we are not sensitive, because we are not attentive, we lose out on those opportunities. Yet it was what we prayed for. All right. So another strategy that can help you to recover from your mistake is that you have to apologize, right? Apologize, especially if it is needed, if it is necessary. There are some times that the mistake you have made has affected another person's life. There are some times that the mistake, I know I'm all for moving on, challenging yourself, going forward, but listen to me. It is possible that the mistake you have made has caused another person pain. It is possible that the mistake you have made has made another person shed a tear. It is possible that the mistake you have made has short circuited another person's blessing, another person's progress in life. And when this happens, you need to go and apologize. Yes, yes, I know that sometimes they might not listen to you. I know that sometimes they are very unforgiving, but you have a role to play, all right? Go ahead and apologize. Whether they accept it or not, you have made your own part. But if you're going to apologize, please make sure that you are sincerely apologizing. If you offer a fake apology, the person would know that it is not heartfelt. So if the mistake we're talking about that you have made has affected another person, has hurt another person, has made another person cry, please go ahead and apologize. You see, it doesn't matter if you are the bigger person, it doesn't matter if you're the older person, it doesn't matter if you're the richer person. See, the person who is actually the bigger person is the person who can humble himself or humble herself enough to go and apologize. And when you go to apologize, keep it simple, all right? I'm sorry about what I did. I'm sorry about hurting you. I'm sorry about making you cry. I'm sorry about offending you. I'm sorry about the decisions I made that affected you badly. Please don't start over explaining it, because when you begin to over explain, I did it because it was not really my fault. Somebody this caused it and that caused it. And when you begin to delve into those dimensions, what will happen is that the person will get offended afresh. The person will get angry afresh, and that's not what you want. You really, really have to come to the point where you are sincere about your apology. You are not trying to make excuses for it. You're not trying to vindicate yourself in the apology. There are people that when they come to apologize to you, they are practically like vindicating themselves in the course of apologizing, but that's not an apology. So an apology is straightforward. I am sorry for what I did to hurt you. I am sorry for the ways that I caused you pain. I am sorry for the ways I made you offended and made you upset. That was not my intention, but I am really, really sorry. After you are sure you have really apologized over what you have done, you have apologized to the person, especially when this person is available to receive your apology, especially when this person is already is willing to, in fact, as a matter of fact, whether the person is willing to receive your apology or not, just from your heart, make sure that you have apologized and you let it go, because that is your own role in it. Don't say they don't want to see me, they don't want to hear from me, but just find ways to apologize properly and then move on. So now that brings us to number 4. Number 4 strategy through which you can recover from your mistake is that you have to analyze what went wrong. In fact, this is a question you have to ask yourself every time you make a mistake. What went wrong? What did I do wrong? What was I supposed to do that I did not do? All right? Ask yourself this question, because you have to reflect on the cause of the mistake. You have to reflect on the reason behind the mistake. Why did this mistake happen? What went wrong? What was I supposed to do that I didn't do? All right? What did I do that I was not also supposed to do? You have to find out what specifically led me to this point. What brought me to this point that I didn't want to be in? All right. What are the specific factors that led me to this point where I am making this mistake? What could it be? Stress? Was I too stressed? Was I tired? Was I exhausted? Was I already angry about something and then I transferred my aggression? Or was it just pure lack of information? Maybe there was something I was supposed to know that I didn't know. Maybe there was something I was supposed to be aware of that I was not aware of, and because of that, I overshot or assumed and made assumptions that I shouldn't have made. Or was it just poor planning that made a mincemeat of what I was supposed to do? So you have to sit back and ask yourself, what went wrong? What went wrong? This is a question you have to ask, and you have to be sincere about this question. Okay, don't say I'm asking myself what went wrong, but then you are covering up some parts, then you are vindicating yourself in some measures. When you say what went wrong, be sincere enough to analyze the role that you played in it, to analyze what you were supposed to do that you did not do, to analyze what went wrong in terms of the people you were supposed to get involved, the planning you were supposed to have, the requisite information you were supposed to have before you went ahead on that endeavor. Find out, because you need to identify the root cause of what happened so that you ensure that that mistake does not repeat itself. If you don't know what went wrong, you will see yourself repeating that same mistake over and over and over again. This even especially shows up as when we relate with people. As you're relating with people, you have to ask yourself, what went wrong in this relationship? In what way did I mess this relationship up? Because if you don't ask yourself that question, you will see yourself repeating cycles. You see yourself jumping out from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship, and you are telling the same cock and bull story. How many times will you keep complaining that it's the other person that is bad, the other person that is bad, and you have jumped in and out of 5 relationships already? See, you can blame everybody for all you want, but there is something definitely wrong on your inside that you have to correct in order to make sure that the mistakes don't keep repeating themselves. So ask yourself what went wrong. And I always tell you that the mistake is not you, you are not the mistake. When you make a mistake, genuinely ask yourself what went wrong and be willing to learn, because the 21st century illiterate is the one who is unwilling to learn, relearn, and unlearn. There are times that what you have learned has not profited you, or what you learned at a certain stage in your life can no longer work in this new stage of your life. So you have to be wise about it. Maybe something you used to do, something you used to know, but at this current level, in this new dispensation, it really can't work anymore. So it is at that point you tell yourself the truth and ask yourself, what went wrong? What should I do that I didn't do? All right? Because when you ask yourself this question, it will help you to recover from that mistake and make sure that that mistake does not repeat itself in your life ever again. So sit back in 1 minute, breathe in and breathe out, and then ask yourself, what went wrong in that business? What went wrong in that relationship? What went wrong in that project? What went wrong the last time I tried to do this, and what went wrong? Because when you are able to identify it, just like I told you, I sat down and I was able to identify what I did wrongly. I shifted my focus from what I am doing now to what I thought I should have. And this is where people make a lot of mistakes. So ask yourself what went wrong. And when you do that, you'll be discover that it will help you recover very quickly from your mistake. All right, so number 5 way or strategy through which you can recover from your mistake is that after you have asked yourself what went wrong, you have to create a plan. All right, you have to create a plan, a solution. Now that you know what went wrong, what then is the solution? What are you going to do differently? Because analysis of this will help you to ensure that you don't repeat your mistake over and over again. So you need a plan that will ensure that the mistake does not repeat itself. So if possible, take actions that can help you fix that problem or fix the mistake that you have already made. Now, I understand that some mistakes can be fixed, while some cannot be fixed. Like I said earlier at the beginning of this video, I said that there are some mistakes that look like that leave no scar. Some others leave a scar, but others you practically get maimed for it. All right, so it depends on the gravity of the mistake. So if it's something that you can fix, create an action plan on how you can fix it. But if it's something you cannot fix, create an action plan on how you can live with it. I tell people that life is basically 10% what happens to you, but 90% what you do about it. Your mistake is not as grievous as you not doing anything about it. In fact, that you fell down is not the problem. The problem is that you chose to remain on the ground where you fell. The problem is not that you made a mistake. The challenge is this, that you made a mistake, but you refuse to recover from the mistake you have made, and you allow that mistake to define you. Listen to me. Your mistake does not define you. What defines you is what you do about your mistake. Let me say this again. Your mistake does not define you. What defines you is what you do about your mistake. Now you have made a mistake. What next? Now that you have made a mistake, is that going to be the end of your life? Now that you have made a mistake, are you going to just fold your hands and die? Is this going to be how your story ends? See, no matter what in this life, live to tell your own story by yourself. Because the reason why I get up every time that life knocks me down is because I don't want the story of my life to be told shabbily. I want to be alive to tell my own story. I want to be able to tell my story the way I understand it to be. Because if you allow people to tell your story, they will make a mess of your story. They will destroy your story. They will tell it in a way to ridicule you, to mock you, to make you look like what you've gone through or what you have achieved is nothing. So please, no matter what, make sure that you create a plan to either fix the problem or to live with the problem. You have made a mistake, but you can choose to live with the problem. You see, somebody felt like he did not have a skill, he did not have an ability, he did not have a talent, and because of that, he was sent to he did a lot of terrible things and was eventually sent to prison. But while in prison, he was in life imprisonment, which means he was going to live the rest of his life in prison. But even while in prison, he met somebody who told him that you have influence, which means that people listen to you, which means that people care about what you say. So the least you can do is to go study and then begin to teach the people, because they listen to what you have to say. And before then, he had no idea that that purpose could be found even while he was in life imprisonment. So you listening to me right now, I know you are not in any form of life imprisonment, which means that you still have hope. Something wonderful can still come out of your life. Something beautiful can still come out of your life, no matter how down you are. I know you'll be like, Mama, you don't know my story. Mama, you don't know what I've been through. Mama, you don't know how people hate me and reject me. But listen to me, no matter how bad your story is, there is somebody who has had it worse than you. Let me say this again so that it sinks in. Take that moment. Did you hear me? No matter how bad your story is, there is somebody who has had it worse than you are having it right now. So what can you do? Listen to me, guide yourself up, and keep shooting and keep pushing and keep telling yourself that my story does not end at this point. All right, make sure that you walk through it. Make sure that you do something to correct whatever issue it is. There are some mistakes that are fixable, while there are some that are not fixable. So just do what you can to fix it, and I believe that you'll come out of it stronger and better. Okay, so we're still talking about strategies that will help you to recover from your mistakes. So number 6 strategy I'd like to share with you is that you have to learn and implement changes. So the truth of the matter is that when you have made a mistake, one thing you have to understand is that you can turn that mistake into a learning opportunity for you and for others. You can turn that mistake into a learning opportunity. Don't waste your pain. And let me say this again. Don't waste your pain. See, there are some things that you have gone through. There are some situations that you found yourself in that was painful, that was destructive, that was harassing. But when this happens, don't waste your pain. Turn that pain to purpose. All right, let others benefit, because listen to me, there are people who are going through the same things you are going through. There are people who are passing through the kind of pain that you are passing through, and sometimes this kind of pain can be peculiar. It may not be something that everybody is going through at the same time, but you can turn that pain to a learning opportunity for yourself and also for others. You can turn that pain into a learning opportunity. So sit back and ask yourself, what mistake did you make? What can be learned from this mistake? In the past, I've made a mistake like reacting when I am very angry. And I have also learned from the same mistake that when I am angry, I do nothing, I say nothing, I do nothing. And this is a principle that has guided me, so that when I am not angry, I can make rational decisions. When I am not angry, I can decide for myself, is this the best course of action or not? Because you have to consider the changes you can make to avoid similar errors in the future. Because whatever changes that you're able to cook up from the mistake you have already made will ensure that you do not repeat it next time. So I have understood that when I am angry, I don't make the best of decisions. So what do? I delay my actions, I delay my words. Okay, my thoughts can be riotous, but I don't let them step out from my mouth. No matter how, the level of anger, no matter the level of frustration, I keep calm. I do nothing. In fact, I even sometimes disengage from other people so that I don't transfer unnecessary aggression. I sit back and analyze properly. I have the ability to sit back even in the midst of anger to ask myself, is this what you want out of this? What do you desire to get out of it? And because of that, it helps to guide my utterances, it helps to guide my actions so that I don't get overwhelmed in the course of trying to react over something that has happened. So make sure that you develop skills that will help you to manage this kind of situations when they come up again. So I understand that mistakes are so many and that my kind of mistake might not be your kind of mistake, but what I'm sharing with you today will help you irrespective of the kind of mistake that you have made. So you need to develop the skills of being able to give yourself restraint from reacting, all right, restraint from saying what you don't want to say, or restraint from saying something that you will live to regret later, all right. If you need to set reminders to make sure that you meet up with deadlines that you missed out, and because of that it's shattered stuff for you, go ahead and set those reminders, all right. Whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that these issues do not repeat themselves, this mistake does not show up again in your life, that would be wonderful, all right, to do. So this is number 6 strategy that I've shared with you. I'm about to share with you strategy number 7. Now, in case you just joined this video right now and you did not join us from the beginning, I want you to do me a favor. Go back to the beginning of the video and watch, because you might never know which point might be a lifesaver for you. So don't miss out on any of the points, and let me know in the comment section if there is a point you think I have missed out that you think I should have added. Please let me know in the comment section, because I love to learn from you. This is a learning curve for all of us. You learn from me, I learn from you, and we all become the better for it. All right, let's talk about number 7 strategy that will help you to recover from any mistake you have made. That strategy is this: forgive yourself and move on. Many of us can easily forgive others. Many of us are quick to forgive others who have hurt us, but we don't forgive ourselves. So we keep beating ourselves up, we keep blaming ourselves, we lose sleep, we lose joy, we lose happiness, we cannot be happy, we are so sad, we are blaming ourselves. Do you know that I met a young man the other week? And this young man, his parents are separated, like they're divorced, and he keeps blaming himself that he is the reason why his parents are divorced. Can you imagine that? How can a young child be the reason why the parents are divorced? And he has lived with that. So I had to ask this young man, why do you think you are the reason why your parents are divorced? You know, he said that they even got married in the first place because the mother got pregnant for him with him, and the parents didn't really plan to marry, but when they discovered that his mother was pregnant with him, then they got married. And when they got married, they discovered that they couldn't really live together. There was a lot of misunderstanding, there was a lot of heartbreak, there was a lot of conflict and arguments continuously. And after he was born, the father said, I didn't really want this was not the plan, and eventually they divorced. I said to him that you could not have been the reason. You could not have been the reason why your parents don't get along. You could not have been the reason why your parents have divorced. They divorced because 2 adults couldn't work things out between themselves. It had nothing to do with you. All right, so I did a lot of talking to him, I reoriented him, and he's the better for it. So please, I want to tell you out there, forgive yourself. Sometimes the mistakes that have happened might be your fault. Some other times it may not be your fault. Like I know of a woman who is still in mourning now because she was the one who was driving when they had an accident and her child died. So she keeps having this blame game over herself, cannot forgive herself. She says that it was because of her carelessness, she was the reason why the child died. She was not a responsible mother. Maybe she was not meant to be a mother, and lots of that stuff. You know, many of us find it so easy to forgive others. Well, I understand that it may not be easy for many people, but yet forgiving yourself is one of the greatest things that you can do. Learn to forgive yourself. The truth of the matter is this: mistakes happen to everyone. Everyone is prone to mistakes, no matter how perfect looking they are, no matter how intellectual they are, no matter how anointed they are, no matter how rich they are. Everybody makes mistakes once upon a time. You are not the first person who invented the concept of mistake. So we all make mistakes, but the issue is this: when we make mistakes, how do we live with it? How do we move on? So what you have to do is that once you address the issue, once you've learned the lessons that you have to learn from that mistake, you have to let it go. You have to let it be. Dwelling on that mistake or ruminating on it, chewing upon it over and over again will hinder your confidence. It will hinder your growth. It will hinder your joy. It will hinder your peace. It will hinder your ability to move forward. So take the lesson and let it be. Take the lesson and throw it to your past. Apostle Paul said something that is very, very interesting. He said, I look forward to the prize of the high calling in Christ Jesus. I forget what is behind me. I just throw them. I shut a door on it, and I move forward towards the price of the high calling that is in Christ Jesus. Take the lesson that you can from your mistake and move forward. Don't let it hinder you. Don't keep ruminating over it. Don't keep chewing over it like you're chewing a cord. You keep analyzing it. I must have gone wrong. It must have been my mistake. I was terrible. See. Forgive yourself and move on. Like I said before, mistakes don't define you. It is how you handle your mistakes that define you. Let me say this again. Mistakes don't define you. It is how you handle your mistakes that will define you. Every time you see a mistake, it is one more opportunity to build on it, to learn more wisdom, to learn more resilience, and to also learn humility. This will help you to know that you are still a human being. And to err is human. To make a mistake is human. Every time you make a mistake, that should remind you that you're just a human being. And people do make mistakes. People do make mistakes. It's not extraordinary. All right. It's not alien. It's something that human beings do. I really want to encourage you through this video. These are all I wanted to share with you today about how to recover from a mistake that you have made. You won't be the first, neither will you be the last. People have been making mistakes before you. People will make mistakes after you. Don't allow it to be the defining moment of your life. Rather, push through it, learn the lessons that you can, make reconciliations where necessary, and move on and create a fresh story. So it doesn't matter what story people have told about you. The question is this: what story will they yet tell about you? Because every champion had a story when he was once a failure, but now he eventually became that champion that is being talked about. So the question I'm asking you is, what will you do differently? All right, until I come your way again, keep making a positive, indelible mark in the lives of people and on the sands of time. Bye-bye for now. I love you so very much. Mwah. Everyone, I hope you were blessed by that message. All right, so I want you to just go ahead and support us. If you are led, go ahead and just sow into the account right on the screen. And I know that as you do that, God will bless you big time. Because of the seeds you are sowing, you'll be able to reach a wider audience on different platforms. So please do well to sow that seed, and God will bless you. Love you.